Yeah, so I'm here with my Latvia shirts as requested last week. So this is circa 2006, 2007, I believe. The Kimmel Brewery, which was, of course, Valerie Belkon's old brewery, which I visited on one of my pre-season trips to Latvia. I can confirm the beer was very nice.
Ah. Who we got here? Alan Duckworth, hello. Stephen Smart, hi. How are we? Well, we're okay. We're fine. We've not got coronavirus yet.
Although we did go to the supermarket this morning.
We've been to the supermarket this morning. It was very surreal.
It was
wasn't it?
very, very strange. It's just sometimes
they were just letting one in at a time, and we actually went to Asda. They wouldn't let us in together. We had to go to Tesco's instead. They wouldn't allow two people together, so it has to be one on their own. Tangerine Whelan, hi. GL Tangerine, howdy. David Scholes, hello. Here we are, week 3. Yes, week 3 of self-isolation.
Yes.
It's and 3 weeks of the end of football, which is quite frightening, isn't it? Really?
It's very much a new normal, isn't it? We're settling into it quite well, I think. Aren't we?
Paul's here. Paul Maynard, hello, Paul. Tangerine Army 123. JJT 1603, hello, you two. 29.
So how are you guys all coping with being locked down? Are you managing to get any kind of sporting fixes, or are you okay? Are you managing to cope with what new things are you doing? Are you learning any new skills? One of my friends is learning salsa dancing in his living room, is and also learning a couple of new languages, which is. It's very commendable, really, isn't it? So
yeah. It is very, very good. Very, very good indeed.
We're just sort of doing what we normally do, really. Lee's making videos and I'm writing, so...
Yeah, so I've been
busy with
learning lots of video things. It's just got time to do a few things. We've been out for a daily walk, haven't we? We kept fit. We're doing a daily lunchtime walk. I don't know if you're all keeping fit.
Well, we're trying to keep fit, aren't we? But I think we have a weigh-in every Sunday morning, and I think it's going to be a bit of a shock tomorrow, because although we are going out for a walk every day, we're also going to the snack cupboard quite a lot, aren't we?
Yes, so we've been eating plenty of rubbish all the time.
We did buy a lot of fruit this morning, so hopefully, better intentions, although I have had 2 chocolate bars since we got back from the shop. So.
Right, so what have we got? What have we found, Jane? Have you got any interesting things that people can do while we are all self-isolating? Have we got any sporty things?
There's the Blackpool Football Club have been quite sort of active this week. They've been calling up fans. I believe Simon Sadler's been ringing people, as well as Ben Mansford and Jay Spearing and Neil Critchley. So that's nice. We're sort of asked to, if anyone deserves a call, let the club know, and they will give them a call. So that's a nice little personal touch,
nice,
isn't it?
yeah,
really,
very nice. Yeah.
And also the players have been after the massive success on Monday, last Sunday, was it, on Monday, of the Twitch online match.
Oh yes,
with,
yes.
When Kieran Dewsbury Hall represented Blackpool in this FIFA Ultimate Quarantine competition against Stevenage.
Yes.
7,000 people tuned in to watch that.
To watch him play terrible.
To watch him play FIFA online against this Stevenage fan. And he played sort of very typically Blackpool, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah.
He kept giving the ball away all the time.
He did, dancing around the edge of the box.
Did you watch that? I was getting so angry with it. I was getting as angry as I am with Blackpool, thinking we're playing Stevenage, and the Stevenage player just kept holding the ball all the time and wasting time, and he just didn't seem to have any way of getting a ball off him. Even before it started, he started making his excuses, didn't he? Oh, I haven't played this version of FIFA before. I thought, why have they got a player play for Blackpool that doesn't play the game? You want somebody who's a whiz on it, don't you? So
anyway, that at least made us realise that are we really missing Blackpool, watching Blackpool play that much? But perhaps not, because that's kind of what they play like, and it wasn't really great. So that's kind of helped us get over not having the football.
I mean, that's what we're missing, giving the ball away all the time. Right, GL1 Tangerine, lockdown with a bored 6-year-old is torture.
Oh gosh.
Oh, I can imagine. What do you do with a 6-year-old?
Well, it's a great time to teach a child a foreign language, I suppose, at that age, isn't it?
I'm sure they'd love that.
But they'll be fluent by the time they grow up. So if you start, mind you, you've got to be able to speak the language yourself, I suppose. But you could do it together, maybe. Wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't you wish you were bilingual, multilingual?
No.
No.
No. I speak English. That's all you need to know. That's the only language you need. English is that's it. You can go anywhere with English. No, I couldn't imagine teaching a bored 6-year-old any sort of language. That would be horrendous. Hayden Cunningham, Haley from Hayden Cunningham. Hi Hayden. JJT, lockdown here. Sport is from my Blythe Spartans FM. Just been relegated back to Vanarama North, but given a decent wage budget for next year.
Oh,
okay.
Oh yes, the Football Manager. Yeah, of course.
Football Manager.
I remember that from last week. Yeah, it's just been relegated. Oh, that's a shame.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Hopefully you'll bounce back pretty quickly.
Richard's just been out for his daily walk. Hope we're both keeping well. Yes, we've been doing daily walks. We've been doing lots of daily walks.
We saw a heron yesterday. We couldn't believe it, could we?
Yeah, there was.
It was beautiful. It was massive. It was nearly as big as me.
Yeah, it was just by a lake in front of these houses, and we actually thought it was like a statue, and then it just flew off, but it was an enormous thing.
It was really stunning, not something you expect to see in Blackpool.
Never seen a heron before, never seen anything quite that big.
But apparently they live at Martin Mere, where they have all the wildfowl, so they're not so far away. But that was stunning. We've seen butterflies and bees, and it's just lovely just getting out there and enjoying nature, which is something that we wouldn't have done before.
No.
Really, I guess. It's nice to have the time to just stroll around and have a look at what's around you, and the blossoms coming out on the trees now, which is lovely. So
we're hoping our sound is good. We can't tell, so just let us know if you can't hear us. If the sound's okay, just give us a thumbs up for that. Stephen Smart, what do you think the EFL is going to do with the completion of the season? Well, this is the thing, isn't it? I mean, Jane has found that from step 3 down, they've just scrubbed this season. So from step 3 down in the non-leagues, they have scrubbed this season, and
which a lot of clubs are quite upset about. Well, some clubs are quite upset about. South Shields were 12 points clear at the top of the Northern Premier League, so looking at getting promoted to the Conference North, and apparently they weren't even told by the league or by the FA. They just found out about it on social media, which is pretty bad if that's true. And there's also Jersey Bulls, who are, I believe, a Jersey-based team, who won all 27 matches in the Combined Counties Division 1, and had already been promoted. And now, because the season effectively doesn't count, then they haven't won promotion, which is, you imagine that's pretty hard to take, really, but...
Very hard to take. David Skoll says the audio is loud and clear. That's good. Thank you, David. Even Tangerine Army thinks FIFA 21 is going to be delayed this year. Now, we were saying the same thing. We were talking about this, because how can they bring out FIFA 21 if there's, football's not being played, or they won't have time to, to get the players, the photographs in the kits, whatever. So I think it could affect FIFA 21 quite badly, actually. I was even saying they might bring out like a collector's edition of FIFA 21, where like old, you could just play as an old team, like Liverpool who won the European title, or Blackpool won the 53 Cup final, or something like that. There could be some retro teams in FIFA 21.
Do they have like upgrades, so they could start maybe with something, and then when the season actually gets going, they could have an upgrade?
Not really, no, because when it comes out a few months after the season started. But all the players are already in the teams, and you see they have Armand Nangelay, he's in the Blackpool team. You have all the different teams throughout have got their teams already in, so it's pretty much accurate to how the season started. So I don't quite see. It'd be difficult to do in such a short space of time.
At a time when people are actually, need FIFA more than ever.
Yeah, I mean, you can still play old FIFA. It doesn't mean you don't have to play new FIFA. But everybody's excited about the new FIFA. They sell millions of them, don't they? Jane, we also have a COVID drinking club.
Oh.
Like-minded guys meeting up for a bring your own booze for a session.
Oh, excellent! Do you do that online? I'm guessing.
You're doing it online? They're not coming around to your house to take it?
Zoom or something. Zoom's meant to be pretty good to get together with your friends in sort of like a video conferencing kind of thing. We need to look into that. Really, that could be pretty good.
Did either of you play for a football team when you were a kid? I just played for school team. Jane played for Manchester United under 7 ladies, didn't you?
No, I've never played football in my life. The only time the only time I've ever played football was on on a beach in Latvia pre-season the one time, possibly wearing this very shirt, in fact. And I tell you what, it doesn't half hurt when you're kicking a football with flip-flops on.
Yes. Jack Duckworth, first time on live chat. Sorry I'm late. Just put my pie in the oven for half time. Hope all tangerines are keeping safe and well. We're going to have a half time break for pies at Jack's house.
Yeah, it's interesting. That's the one thing I'm not missing from the football. Definitely the pies. Gosh, they've been terrible in the main. There's been a few something I meant to look at before we came on. Actually, maybe we can do it next week. Things outside of football that are parts of football that you're missing through not going to football. Things like the food.
And the meet up to the pub. All that sort of stuff. Yeah,
so
we are missing it.
I'm not missing the pies. We did just have a burger though, didn't we? So that could be our pre-match burger.
Kanisa Smith is saying to Jane, lovely to see you. How are you coping with the current situation? So that's from Kanisa Smith.
I'm coping all right, thank you, Kanisa. It was I had a bit of a wobble at the beginning of this week, but actually I'm just sort of settled in. My latest blog, I've said it's sort of like Stockholm syndrome, really. I'm just completely... This is the situation, and I think you've got to accept it, really. So we're just immersing ourselves, aren't we, and doing what we enjoy. Lee's doing his videos, I'm writing. I've got structure. I'm still working. I'm working from home, so I've got that structure Monday to Friday, and then in the evenings, we have a bit of creative time. So I'll write my blog or do something else, and then we'll just sort of settle and relax and watch a bit of telly, sort of 9 o'clock onwards.
Yeah.
So we've got that routine, and then on Saturday, obviously, we've got this at 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon, which is helping us because we would normally be at football on a Saturday afternoon. So that's helping. I don't know what we're going to do.
We're preparing for this a little bit. It's preparing for this, and you probably noticed we've got new lights there at the back, making it all look a bit. I've been working on the background a little bit to make it look a little bit more interesting.
So how are you coping, Kanisa? I hope you're all coping okay. And what sort of coping mechanisms are you finding? No way around each other's houses. No, definitely.
No. So you're also doing it online together. No, you're having a drink.
I actually bought my first bottle of beer today, but it was just to go in a casserole. And I'm keeping off the beer actually during this lockdown, just because obviously it will also help towards the old weight problem that I think we're all going to develop. But also it helped with my mental health as well. I mean, I think I'd struggle. If I was drinking in the house, so I'm looking forward to my first pint of mild when we're allowed back out again and the pub's open again, though, that's for sure. Yeah,
Nick Muller is here, our favourite Ipswich fan. Hello, Nick.
Oh, hi, Nick.
How you doing? Tangerine Army, he's been in so long, he's started to forget what day it is. Well, we had the same
definitely.
thing. We almost had an argument the other day because I thought it was Wednesday and Jane was convinced it was Thursday. I said, it's not Thursday, it's Wednesday. And we had to check. We had to ask Siri, who we're having quite a lot of fun with him, aren't we, with Siri.
I've had my colleagues wishing people a good weekend on Tuesday as well because they just completely just don't know. It is very strange, isn't it?
Yeah, Siri has been keeping us entertained with some weird tech reading out, hasn't he? He had one where he kept stuttering all the time.
He did. Siri and Alexa are our sort of new friends, really, aren't they? They're keeping us company around the house. They tell us jokes and all sorts.
Yeah, you can get a joke from Siri and Alexa. Sometimes we test them to see which one tells the best joke.
I could ask him to tell us a joke now.
Yeah, go on.
See how this comes across. Hey Siri, tell me a joke.
Why do porcupines always win at sports? They have the most points.
I didn't say they were really good, but he makes an effort. So Burger Van Burgers, Nick Muller is missing. Yeah, they're good, aren't they, Burger Van Burgers? Yes, they will smell amazing as well, the onions and
there's always that, especially at night time on a night game, isn't it? It's just it's all part of football, isn't it?
Oh, our burger earlier was pretty good. We had gherkins and everything, so it was almost like being at McDonald's, except it was a nice burger.
Yeah, it does put Paul Main on. You say it feels like Sunday every day now. I'm at the moment I'm kind of finding it a bit like a holiday every day. Really, it's a bit like being on holiday, but we just without all the money. But it's kind of relaxing. We're not worrying about the day-to-day grind, are we? We're not waking up to an alarm every morning and that.
Yeah, I'm enjoying. I'm feeling. I was saying to you earlier, wasn't I? I don't feel stressed and unable to cope as I do sometimes. I've the odd wobble where I don't feel like I can cope, but because there's really nothing to be coping with, because we're not stressing to catch trains or stressing to be in places at particular times. It's all the pace of life is just it's all very relaxed, and I'm finding sort of mentally I'm a lot better.
How are you guys finding it? Post in the comments below. How are you finding this time where you've got very little to do? Or are you doing anything? Have you started any sort of exercise classes? We've heard somebody, Jay mentioned before, who's doing salsa lessons on the internet. There's various gym things you can do. There's exercise classes. Somebody started one that's really difficult, and they said it was quite like a gym thing.
The Joe Wicks PE classes on
Joe Wicks PE classes
on Netflix, I think. I've seen it pop up at the top of the screen, so
to help keep yourself fit. So
I think we need some alternative for when it rains. I'm not quite sure we're going to be going out for walks for an hour when it rains. Although I do have my great lightsaber umbrella that could help.
JJT1603, it's at my house on Tuesday if we can make it.
Well,
so
if this is the beer club thing. I don't have any beer.
No, we haven't
although
got
we
any
could
beer.
change that.
They'll come in Diet Cokes.
Yeah.
We've got some Diet Cokes and
Yeah,
stuff. Well,
definitely.
yeah. How are you doing it?
Yeah, how are you doing it? Are you doing it on Zoom or how does that work? So yeah, I like the idea, definitely. But it's like going down the pub, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the idea of that, actually. That does sound...
Cods Vlogs is here. Hi, Ben.
Hi,
He's
Ben.
asking, how long do you think until the football is back? Well, it's pretty much how long is a piece of string, if I'm being honest. It still feels like, especially in Blackpool, where we haven't got many cases yet of coronavirus. So, they keep talking about this is going to build up to Easter, and Easter it's going to hit quite big. So I even think it'd be longer than that before it properly hits peak. So I'm thinking we're not going to hit peak for 3 or 4, 5 weeks maybe, and then we've got to wait for that to all come down. Then you've got, we were talking about before, there's players that are, are they training? Are they not training? I mean, I doubt they are.
They're not allowed. The EFL has said they're not allowed to resume training until the 14th of April at the earliest.
Right.
That's if they're going to get the season completed by the 30th of June. That's kind of, I think, probably when they would have to. But I mean, it's not.
So we're looking.
It's not going to happen, is it? I mean, realistically.
Christy, it could be 2021. Well, we were saying this. They may just completely not start the season until we get maybe around to February 21 and carry on from there. But then again, the problem with that is that all the teams won't have the same play. Lots of teams.
It'll be the same for everybody, though, won't it? So.
Yeah. So
but then you're going to get players who are going to win the league who haven't played for most of the season. So that's not really.
Yeah, that's kind of maybe not. Honestly, there's going to be.
But it's going to be a long time. I don't really understand why they've still got it in their heads that this season's going to be completed, because
I don't think it will.
Realistically, it's not a vital job, is it? It's not.
No.
Like your nurses and your supermarket workers who have got to go out to work. Footballers do not have to. It's not a vital function. They don't. They don't have to go and play football, and they shouldn't be going out playing football because it's not safe.
Yeah,
so I don't know why it's even being considered. I know why it's being considered because it's money involved, and there's going to be legal action involved, and there's money. Money is why they're still talking about it, which is why they stopped it in non-league, because there's less money involved down there. But I mean, they're even talking about legal action down there. So.
Well, we were talking about David Haythornthwaite. Obviously, you may have heard that he's slashed over his wages by 50%. He's complaining about the money and everything else. But if the leagues don't start again, he's very lucky because he looks like he's getting relegated. So he'll stay in that division he's in with just one step away, just one win away from his dream of football in 2022, I think it is.
But if it's upsetting all his staff, chances are they'll get relegated next season anyway.
He may want to clear them all out because they're not playing very well this season and get rid of them all, isn't it? Maybe that's the method behind his madness.
But it's interesting actually because it's not only AFC File that are looking at this 50% wage cut. Hearts also have said to their players, take a 50% wage cut or we might suspend your pay altogether. But interestingly, I've just been looking into this morning. There's a clause in the Scottish leagues that if football is suspended, then the contracts can be suspended as well. So that's in Scotland. So
This is the Hearts thing.
Yeah, well, this is across the whole of Scotland. There is a clause, a league clause, that they can suspend contracts if football is suspended. So they're actually well within their rights. I mean, obviously the PFA aren't happy about it. And morally, it raises questions, but there actually is that clause there, and you're not quite sure why that clause was ever put in the first place, but maybe, I guess it's to cater for things like this, which...
Yeah, I mean, for wars maybe and things like that. I mean, it feels a little bit like, for the first time ever, going to the supermarket this morning and having to queue, and they had little lines, so you were so far away from the person in front, you could only go in one person at a time. And it really did, for the first time, feel like I was in, like a proper war. Yeah, like a movie, but also like what it was like in the war days, where you've got a queue to get in. This is the first time we've experienced that.
And also, interestingly, the product range. I mean, we went to the massive Tesco and just looking for things like, there was no Parma ham, there was no Aberdeen Angus burgers, and even like there was just plain white baps. There were no, seeded ones or anything. So the range has really been pulled back. So it's not a case of you can go out looking for something specific now. It's just you can go out and you can get food and just be grateful for what you've got, basically.
Which is a bit like rationing.
But it's really interesting because this whole situation is just it makes you think about what's important, actually, and is it really vital that we have there are really nice seeded baps, or just having bread is something perhaps you should be
brilliant.
You should be grateful for.
JJT1603 he teaches Chinese kids English online, so that keeps him busy, but also he's now clarified that the meetup for the drink is actually walking around his house and getting absolutely SH.
Oh, you actually are
going round to people's house. That's not allowed, is it? I thought we were supposed to self-isolate, so that's a bit dangerous at the moment. We're just staying in, and I'm doing FaceTime with the boys every night, so we get to talk to them. And last night we were looking at the space station. I don't know if you all looked out, but
the
at night time,
Space Station,
above the moon, you could see the International Space. It's like a massive star. I don't know if anybody saw that. Post in the comments below if you did last night, if you looked out and saw the space station.
Where actually are you in the world, JJT? Because you might not be locked down like us, of course.
Yeah, maybe not. David Skull said, did we find anything decent to watch after Picard has finished? Well, Picard was amazing last night.
Wasn't it?
Jane guessed it as well, that he was going to be...
Don't tell people if they haven't watched it.
Yeah, no. We are starting on...
And again, that was very sort of relevant to what's happening today, really, because it got you reassessing what it's like to be human and your values, really. That was really interesting. But yeah, we just started
Ozark. Yes, Ozark.
Season 3, although I did fall asleep about half an hour in, so we got that to finish after the show.
I was so excited that Jane fell asleep. Yeah, no, it's really, really good.
The walks, they're tiring me
The only thing is, we're watching Ozark, and we kept thinking we need to go back and have a look, because we kind of forgotten what happened. We couldn't quite figure it out, so maybe we'll have to revisit it a little bit. We've been watching The Big Bang Theory. We started watching that, and we've also decided we're going to watch all the old Star Trek
Next Generation.
Next Generations with Picard, and the weird thing is, if you're watching Picard now, he's really old, but when you watch the Next Generation, he's really, so obviously so much younger, but he looks really good looking in Star Trek Next Generation, which you didn't really notice when that was on, because he always seemed quite old, but now it's weird, he looks old and young, and we're all getting older, and it's a time thing. It's a Star Trek time thing.
Yeah, but the great thing about those is because they are standalone episodes, so you can dip in and dip out. We watched a couple of random episodes the other night, so that was good. But Big Bang Theory is very good. We're enjoying that. That's just complete, switch off, laugh.
Yeah,
really.
so a bit of a laugh. Yeah.
Really
Soulful Aid, he says he thinks he thought all National League clubs, including North and South, might get to finish their seasons. If so, couldn't File get relegated? We haven't thought about that, but. Maybe they will, but will they? Will they get a chance to finish these seasons?
They're not. Then I can't see it. I mean, they haven't. It's building up, isn't it? It started off at steps 5 to 7, and then from step 3 down. I think the next level is going to be the National League will be decided next. But I can't see.
Well, Ian Everett's been angry, hasn't he?
Well, you can imagine Ian Everett's going to be livid because they're pretty much going up, weren't they?
They were very much so.
But at the end of the day, this isn't just about football. It's about a whole.
JJT is in Thailand. It's in Thailand.
Oh right.
Oh, we can't come round to yours for a beer, can we?
No, we definitely can't.
Oh, it's It's John, isn't it? It's John Thrower. Yes, of course you're in Thailand.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
John. Yeah, sorry. Didn't twig it was you. Sorry, I've forgotten. Yeah, so what's it like in Thailand then? Are you not locked down in Thailand?
I didn't think it was. Is it there at all? Because I'd heard the climate was, it was too hot for it. Which is
yes, of
great.
course.
Yeah,
so,
no, that beer club just sounds.
So we'd love to come round for beer to yours, John, but unfortunately we can't get on a plane.
No, we can't.
Cos Vlogs is going to edit his vloggers tier list, and we're in it.
Oh, great.
Thanks, Ben. So that's really good. I hope we're
Look
top.
out for that.
Hope we're top. Hope we're top. Nick Muller works at the supermarket, so you'll be really busy, Nick, at the moment, won't you? Are they taking on extra staff at your supermarket, Nick? You know, they're getting more staff in because that seems to be the thing at the moment. They're doing big recruitment drives for supermarkets, so especially for young teenagers who want to work for college. They would normally obviously work in bars and stuff, so maybe they're going to have to work in the supermarkets.
Yeah, there was a young lad. I mean, I was asking him where the baps were or something this morning, and he didn't know, so he's obviously a new person.
George is here. It's Ramos. Hiya, George.
Oh, hi, George.
How's everything going? Just like it is for you. We were just enjoying the football and having fun, and it's all stopped, and we just can't quite believe the way it's all going. We can't believe. I mean, the only good thing that we were saying is because Blackpool are really just sort of mid-table. They're not going up. They're not going down. It doesn't really matter to us, but we're having a bit of a laugh at Preston. We're pretty pleased if they don't get into the playoffs because they spent all those millions to get there. We're a bit upset about Bolton. Obviously, it looks like they're going to escape relegation, maybe, if the season doesn't go on.
Delay relegation.
We're laughing at Liverpool, as everybody is.
No, that's really mean. We can't laugh at Liverpool.
Well, we have to have a little laugh at Liverpool. There's all these years. Leeds United, they must be sick as well, mustn't they, Leeds United? Yeah, I know. So, yeah, we're just, we're enjoying the time off and, the fact that we're not having to work and that, but of course, we're just worried about money and stuff and, whether the government are going to stay true to this paying the self-employed.
But we're just trying not to think about that too much, really. It's kind of easy to sort of get lost in, we're getting ourselves lost in the videos and the writing, aren't we? And not worrying, trying not to worry.
We're worrying a bit about Simon Sadler because he's invested all this. He couldn't have invested in a football club at the worst time, could he? It's just a bit of a disaster for him. So I bet he's regretting the fact that he actually took over a football.
Not to mention the stock market and his hedge fund as well.
Yeah, his hedge fund.
Yeah, interesting times for him.
Jane works.
No. Nick Muller said he works in a supermarket. Even chickpeas and artichokes in tins are sold out. Goodness me, things are getting bad, aren't they?
Artichokes in tins? Who has? How can they sell out? That'll be the last thing I'll be looking for, really. John Thrower says it's a kind of a lockdown. Gatherings are not allowed. Bars and pubs are closed, so we're giving it the two fingers to that. Right.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yes.
Kind of lockdown. Yeah.
Kind of lockdown.
Oh, so you can still go to each other's houses.
It's just gatherings at the moment, but it may well get worse. I mean, the thing is, as it gets worse and as they start to put you into lockdown, we were a bit of that opinion at first, thinking, it's not going to happen, all that. But then as it starts to become more serious, then you start to realise that you really do need to socially self-isolate, to protect other people, never mind yourselves and your own family, and you don't want to pass it on. I wouldn't want to get it and pass it on to Jane if I was going out working and I got it and, she's self-isolating. It wouldn't be fair, and we're not seeing the boys because we don't want to give it to them if we get it, or if they get it, give it to us. So, and if...
But you're chatting to them online, aren't you?
Yeah, we're chatting. We're doing FaceTime to them, so just to make sure they're all right. But they're doing lots of DIY at home. He's been cleaning the drive, jet washing the drive, and painting fences and stuff like that. Yeah, so we've done a bit of tidying and stuff, haven't we?
I've been through the sock drawer this morning. So.
Yeah, I've been through my sock drawer. We won't talk about that.
Can we guess in the comments how many pairs of socks do you think Lee had before we started this exercise? This is pairs of socks. This isn't just stray, random, unmatched socks. This is pairs of socks. Just guess in the comments below, and we'll see who gets the nearest.
Yes. Find out at the end how many socks. Stay to the end to find out how many socks Lee Charles has in his sock drawer.
Oh Tinned artichokes. Who would even buy tinned artichokes? I guess that's something that they're not restocking.
Yes, this is this. Yes, a pink. This is a pink lemonade from Tesco's. Bought this morning. So yeah, she's not drinking alcohol. Sophie thought you were drinking pink gin.
No, yeah, it is. No, it's actually a pint glass. That it's not half a pint.
It's a pint. It's a pint of pink
glass,
lemonade.
Yeah, lemonade. Yeah, no booze. Apart from the bottle of BrewDog in the casserole at the moment.
Oh, hang on. John saying Simon Sadler is a hedge fund manager. You can bet he will want to benefit out of all this. John, you know more than me because I don't know anything about hedge fund. Why would he benefit from that? I need to know. Why would Simon Sadler benefit on being a hedge fund manager? Is it because it goes down, he makes more money?
Oh, it's not half a pint of pink champagne or pink gin. Oh God, no, I can't drink gin. Gin sends me catastrophising. That's the absolute worst thing I could possibly have at the moment. Pink champagne. No. I don't drink champagne either.
It's pink lemonade, and I've got what have I got? I've got some sort of fruity thing. Just pop.
Hi guys, Blackpool FC 24/7. Oh, hi.
Blackpool FC 24/7. Hi guys, hope you're both well. I'm missing away days with Jane. Feels like a long time before we'll see any live football again. How are you both coping?
I'm not missing my away days. I've travelled over 2,000 miles this year. I'm thankful of a little break.
Yes, a lot of it's been for nothing really, hasn't it? Yeah. For nil point for Jane, so she's had a bit of a tough time on the away days, but it was always, the journeys were nice though, weren't they? We saw where you went on your coaches and
the
dogs
pubs were good,
the pubs and there was the nice little touches, and there's some great interviews. The Lincoln one was brilliant where we chatted to the guy outside that castle, was it?
That random guy who just stopped to talk to us for ages as well.
Yeah, he was just a really random guy, wasn't he? But he was so knowledgeable about that castle and all that sort of stuff was really interesting. We'll try and do more of that next season, really.
Weekends are good, really, because I went to Lincoln for the weekend. Obviously, went Friday, came back Saturday night, and if you go for a little bit longer, you get to see a bit more of the towns and cities, and that's what I like doing. So hopefully, try and do a bit more of that.
I'll try and get to a few more next year as well. So we'll try and get a few more. We did enjoy a few.
Donny was great.
Donny was great. As you all know, Rotherham was absolutely toss. It was awful. It was the worst play. Honestly, Rotherham. Just don't go to Rotherham. Boycott it. It's awful. Aki was ace, but we don't know what he's going to do next season. Where he's going to allow that many Blackpool fans there because of the trouble and stuff. But the fan zone was brilliant at Aki. The marquee with the guide singing and all that was brilliant.
No alcohol, just sugar. Yeah, no, it's sugar free. Actually, we only get sugar free pop.
It's sugar free, but we eat lots of chocolate to make up for it.
We do. Didn't buy any today though, did we?
No, we've not bought any chocolate today.
Fruit.
In fact, we bought fruit today. We're on a thing next week. We'll see if we can not eat any sweets. So we're going to try and eat fruit all week.
Yeah, I think so. It's our way in the morning. It's going to be a bit of a shock.
But we are doing exercise. We are going out for a walk at the moment. We are going for a lunchtime walk for an hour, and it's really nice. But it's weird. It's like being in apocalypse. There's nobody anywhere when you walk around. It's just really, really quiet.
You see the odd dog walker, don't
Yeah, the odd dog walker. And it's amazing. Everybody crosses the street, so you try and stay across the other side of the street. So it's like, it's when people cross and everybody's sort of...
It's getting better because I think for the first few days it was just like, oh my God, there's a person, got across the road and can't make eye contact, can't talk with them. But I think now we're sort of relaxing into this is how it is, and actually, you smile at them and say hello, and everyone's in the same, but I think people just appreciate, just a bit of human contact, even if it is from across the road. Yeah,
we went shopping this morning and we had gloves, we had like rubber gloves on, and there was people with masks on and that, and I kept thinking maybe we ought to, we actually bought some masks, so maybe we'll use a mask next time. It is such a worry. It really is a worry.
I actually felt less anxious today. I did feel quite anxious in the supermarket last Saturday when we went, because we were at the self-checkout and there was quite a lot of people there, but I think with the distancing now, actually, it did feel better. You're not allowed within 2 metres of each other in the store, and if you see a busy aisle, you're advised to just go into a different aisle while that the congestion eases. But it is so hard because you just can't not touch things. No. Even if you've got your gloves on, you're pushing the trolley, but then you're touching the do you touch the food with the gloves on, and then you're bringing it home and putting it away, and it's still going to be in your house. So I'm not quite sure how that worked. We tried to do it while you were pushing the trolley and I was touching the food, but then I'm like, I pushed the trolley for a bit, and then you've got to key your your pin in to pay, and I put my glove on for that bit, but it's all a bit. And then taking your gloves off in time before you put your hands back on the steering wheel in the car. It's
just terrifying.
It's just getting used to a new way of living, I suppose.
And there's nothing open, we're driving, there's car showrooms are shut and just everywhere shut. It's so weird. It's really weird. Yes, John Throwers confirmed that people who manage hedge funds, they tend to profit from major disasters, especially if they know what they're doing. So he'll probably have profited from all this, Will Simon Sadler. So he may be even worth more money. You may come back. You may be able to buy us Ronaldinho or something for the...
Do you have any dogs? No, we don't. No. I think we're the only people who go out walking without dogs. Actually, everyone else seems to have dogs.
I've never had time for a dog. I'm always working. I'm always out working, so it wouldn't be fair on a dog to be sat in all the time. But we do love, we love dogs. But at the moment, well, we have got time now. But then again, you couldn't buy a dog now.
Well, I think there's a few people still picking them up from the shelters because obviously they still need homing, don't they?
Yeah.
I know.
It was announced actually this morning that the council are taking all the homeless off the streets, aren't they? Is that the...
Yeah, they've got until this weekend, until is it today, to get them all, in hotels and council housing. So.
I think some of the hotels have been taking some of the homeless in because obviously there's loads of spare beds at the moment because there's no holiday makers in Blackpool. So maybe there's some sort of deal at the moment going on where the hotels are looking after, whether they're looking after them just out of the goodness of their hearts or whether they're actually on some sort of council deal. I don't know.
Well, it's a nice human thing to do, really.
Yeah,
isn't it?
It is.
So what else have we got from around football? Oh, now there is some football. I did find this out yesterday. Belarus, their football league has kicked off.
Yeah.
So they just kicked off. They decided they're going to go ahead with it. That's the only league in the world, I believe, that is playing at the moment. They did think they were going to play the games behind closed doors, but they said the fans turned up anyway, so they just let them in. So be interesting to see how long that continues. Mm-hmm. And also there is some football tonight on Twitter. There is some Lego football.
Oh, there's Lego football. Yes.
Now this is very interesting actually. I'll just put it. If you follow me on Twitter, I did retweet this earlier. This is here we go. Missing Real Football, there'll be live coverage of Marvel Universe versus 80s Spacemen in the Lego Isolation Cup from 7 p.m. tonight.
Oh.
Latest odds, Marvel Universe 2-1, 80s Spacemen 9-2.
Who's in the teams, Jane?
I know Batman's the referee.
Batman's the referee.
Yeah.
Well, he's dressed in black.
I can see there's the Incredible Hulk there, Spider-Man, some guy with blonde with a red cape and a hammer. I don't know who
Thor?
he is. I don't know, possibly. So there's a stand and a hot dog seller. Flash. Flash on an emergency loan deal from DC. So that's 7:00. If you follow Jim Salverson, it's at Mr_Jimbob on Twitter. Live coverage Marvel Universe vs 80 Spacemen. So that's this evening. So.
Nick Muller's asking, what will the pubs be like the first day it goes back to normal? Well, that's if there's any pubs left. Well, hopefully they're still going to be here. It's just a big worry about what's going to be.
This is going to have to be done gradually as well, because you're looking. I mean, I was looking this morning at these, this flattening of the curve. So obviously it starts with nothing, with no cases, no deaths, and then it goes up or whatever trajectory. But when it goes down, it's not going to go down to where it was at the beginning. It's going to it's going to be flattened. It's going to be, but there is still going to be, there are still going to be cases. So.
So will they still allow people out if there's still cases? Because if people go out, there's cases, then it'll all just start up again.
I don't know how they're going to manage that. They've got this testing now, haven't they? The antibody testing, so you can, people will be able to see whether they've had it or not, and if they have, obviously they can start going back to work and, you know, maybe
Jane
do it that
did claim she'd read somewhere the other day that half the country have already had coronavirus, but I was not convinced.
Oh yeah, this is an Oxford
convinced on
Oxford
that.
University study. There was something that suggested that potentially up to half the population have had it already because it started a lot earlier than we thought, so mid-January over here. So.
I
So
was
you
reckon
never
that was
know.
like 38 million people who already had coronavirus. I kind of wasn't
But
convinced on
you
that.
know, you hear about studies where there's perhaps 10 people for every one who have it don't have any symptoms. So these antibody tests will be really interesting. So what else is happening?
Okay, so Soulful Aid regarding Accrington Stanley next season. Apparently, Andy Holt will be restricting the booze to pool fans next season. So I suppose that would count out the fan zone.
Well, it was quite restricted anyway. I don't think the beer wasn't that great in the.
But there was you could get beer.
The bottles of beer that people were throwing.
Oh, the bottles, yeah, maybe.
Well, that makes sense in the ground. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, I don't know why you'd have bottled beer if people, you probably just wouldn't have.
No, it doesn't make. I don't understand why they sell bottled beer in football grounds anyway. Really.
No, I mean it's plastic bottles, but even so, if it's got beer in, I mean, they've got no lids on, but even so, if it's got beer in and you throw a full one, it's still going to be pretty hard if you hit you in it.
No, I get that. I totally get that.
Yeah, I totally get that too.
Yeah.
Uh,
Bristol Rovers have announced debts of £24 million this week, but apparently they're going to be okay. So that'll be interesting to see.
That's a big debt.
That's a lot of money.
I mean, I think Preston had sort of spent that kind of money, aren't they? 24 million this season or something. Somebody was saying to try and get up. So, yeah, I was looking for things, and Radio 5 Live are doing a replay of famous sporting events that you can listen to if you're bored on Radio 5 Live. Such things as Liverpool 1977-78 European Cup, Leeds versus Sunderland in the 73 FA Cup. They've got the 1999 Five Nations Rugby, England versus Wales, Man United's 1968 European Cup final, McGuigan versus Pedrosa, if any boxing fans, 1985, Bruno versus Tyson. They've got an interview that Cristiano Ronaldo did in 2015. England versus Holland in Euro 96. You can listen to that again.
Someone's re-showing Euro 96. Is that the BBC? Are they? Because they're showing the tournament again this summer.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, they're reliving Euro 96.
Oh, that would be good.
I think it's BBC. Yeah,
I'd be banging for that, actually. Desert Orchids Gold Cup, if you're into horse racing. Kevin Peterson and Freddie Flintoff in 2013 for cricket fans. We've got the 1957 FA Cup final and the Matt Busby Hospital clip.
Well, plenty to be going out there.
Colin Murray meets Henry Blofeld. Oh, Stanley Matthews. John Dunn speaks to... Yeah, so there's a thing on Stanley Matthews on there.
An interview with Stanley Matthews?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Stanley Matthews speaking to John Dunn. That'd be interesting.
I've never heard Stanley Matthews speak, I don't think. So that'll be...
Ricky Hatton versus... whoever he was, Kostaya Tsayu, was it? I think. England versus Brazil with the Gordon Banks save. There's loads. Ben versus Eubank. Lewis Hamilton winning the 2008 F1 World Championship. David Beckham's free kick. Wow, against Greece. We all remember that one, don't we? George Best, interview.
Are these radio interviews or is it TV?
The radio interviews, yeah, the Radio 5 Live, so you can listen to them. Muhammad Ali one, there's an interview with him. Sebastian Cohen-Everett, Arsenal winning the league in 1989. Bill Shankly, Kelly Holmes' golden double. Yeah, brilliant. There's loads of stuff on there, so that's something you can listen to.
Kelly Holmes, I remember coming back from a Blackpool match when I was living in the Midlands and stopping off in Crewe to watch Kelly Holmes win a gold medal on the way back. So it's football memories attached to other sporting memories.
There was an article as well in the paper today about who was it now? I can't remember who's fighting to come back from injury. He will not be able to get himself fit because he can't train. Who was that?
There's going to be a number of
Chelsea.
players in the same boat, isn't there?
Yeah, I can't remember now.
Can't get back to match fitness because there's no matches and obviously no proper training. I don't know what they can do really at home. But yeah,
no, it's a problem.
But then, alternatively, also, potentially, if you
Ruben Loftus-Cheek, it was. He's it's impacted his return from an Achilles tendon injury as the 24-year-old Chelsea midfielder is unable to rebuild his match fitness. So I suppose there'll be that sort of thing as well, where players have been injured and they can't rebuild match fitness because they can't train. So that's going to affect.
But it's good for Sony RX100 to recover from his whatever it is that he has. So hopefully we'll get to see him. He of course played for Blackpool on the weekend in Kieran Dewsbury Hall's team in FIFA. So that was nice to see him back in the Blackpool shirts.
David Scholes says, why can't Blackpool play Liverpool? None of our players would get within 2 yards of their players. So no risk of coronavirus. We wouldn't, would we? But we don't know. I mean, Liverpool, are they still training? Are they? I don't know. It's
Canisa's asking, worst Blackpool manager? Well,
Nigel Worthington.
Nigel Worthington was. They were very.
Colin
very
Hendry, maybe he was.
I think Worthington was worse by dint of having been at the helm longer. I think they were just really miserable days. Just I don't know how long he was manager, but it seemed to go on forever, and it was just the football was just awful.
Yeah, it was.
To be fair,
Megson had a few.
To be fair, Larry this time round was pretty bad. He really was pretty bad because there were, I think with the same with Worthington, I suppose it's just because there was. In fact, no, I don't think I've known it as bad as it was under Larry this time because there was just no hope and there was no progression. You know, none of the players were getting any better, and there was just you couldn't look forward to going. I think potentially he's up there with the worst.
Yeah,
no,
sadly, yes. Larry Mark 1 was great, but Larry Mark 2 was really, really bad. I mean, the football was just atrocious, wasn't it? Really, he kind of just sucked all the enthusiasm out of everybody. But the good thing is, maybe this season will just get written off, and we can just forget about this season as ever happening. Really,
this virus has brought so many fans and people together. Shame it took a virus to do it, says Nick Muller. Yeah, that's very true. It does make you just reassess what's important, doesn't it? Really. I think
I've had a big reality check. You know, people have had a massive reality check about things and how we take things for granted and how normality, you know, when it's taken away from you, just, you know, how it impacts your life, really. It's quite incredible. You know,
the value of love over money, really. It's, you know.
Yeah, family's very important.
What would you rather have? Would you rather have savings or would you rather have your loved ones alive? You know, it's kind of coming down to that, isn't it? It's really makes you think. It does.
But even so, you still got to enjoy life as well. So
yeah. So how did you find living in the Midlands? I'm originally from Nottingham.
Alan Ball.
Well, it was the wonderful thing, and I was saying this yesterday, it was great for travelling to football because you didn't have to travel very far from anywhere. We were talking about Burton, weren't we, yesterday, and how Burton used to be just half an hour on the train, or I could get 2 buses there from where I used to live, and that was great. But from Blackpool, everywhere just seems so far, and it's just not as easy to just nip anywhere because everywhere's so far away. So from a travelling perspective, I thought the Midlands was great, but it was never home for me. You know, I lived there for 21 years, but Blackpool was always home. I think maybe if I hadn't had the football, maybe that would have been different. The football obviously kept pulling me back, but still I always missed the sea. That was a big thing that I missed from living in the Midlands.
We were discussing this the other day, that Jane's convinced that because she so much didn't want to go to Portsmouth because it was so far and everything else, that she's actually brought this virus on everybody to make sure football got cancelled, so she didn't have to go to Portsmouth. I think we're extrapolating it that far at one stage.
Yeah, well, it wasn't serious, obviously, but I really, 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 really didn't want to go to Portsmouth, and then
really
didn't.
It was like, how long was it? How many hours was it to travel?
7 hours there, 7 hours back.
Yeah, so she was going to fly down, but then the flights got cancelled. That was the first thing. She was actually gutted, but then it just, once the whole thing fell apart, she was like, thank goodness for that.
Well, even if the season does end up being finished.
Plus that bloody bell. Plus you've had that bloody bell.
Yeah, but even if we do end up finishing the season, if it's behind closed doors, I still don't have to go to Portsmouth. Great, but even if it's not behind closed doors and it's under normal circumstances, it won't be on Easter Monday, so I can actually make a weekend of it or a couple of days of it, and places will be open, which was another problem with it being Easter Monday. So yeah, it's worked out quite well.
That's the blessing of this whole thing, that you don't have to go to Portsmouth. Football hi Chris Heaney. If football resumes in the summer, what a bonus watching league games in warm weather.
Yeah, that
I mean, if it's been freezing, some of those last games were really cold. I was so cold. David Scholes says Alan Ball.
Worst manager.
Yeah, worst manager. But don't really remember those times. If I'm being honest, I can't remember if football was good or bad then. But I know it was a pretty bad time under Alan Ball, which was I think that was a big disappointment for a lot of Blackpool fans because he was such a hero, for Blackpool. That for him to be, to not be a good manager was a shame.
Oh, it's half time. Do you want anything?
But I'm not sure. No, I'm fine. Are you going to go and get? Do you want something for half time? Does anybody want to go and get a pie, or if you need to get to the pie lines or get a beer? Now it's half time. We're coming up to.
What about the Lucky Snickers?
Oh, the Lucky Snickers.
I'll go and get the Lucky
Yeah,
Snickers.
Jane will go and get us a Lucky Snickers for the second half. Lol Bosch, thoughts on how the season went? Well, my thoughts on how the season went. Well, it went very, very poorly. There was so much enthusiasm at the start of the season. Everybody was really pumped up to go and watch Blackpool. And the first game back against Bristol Rovers, there was a massive feel-good factor. And we struggled, we didn't play so bad against Bristol Rovers, but the next game against Oxford was really a tough watch, and it was really hanging on till the end. And the football just seemed to get worse and worse and worse, where it was almost as if Simon Grayson was scared. I don't know. I said to Janie, I think the Coventry game did a lot of damage to Simon Grayson because we were 2-0 up. We were at live. At that time, actually in live play, we were top of the league, and then we let those 2 goals in just before half time, and then he brought he made all the 3 substitutions, and then the Fonz got injured, so he went down to 10 men, and they scored with a few minutes to go. And I think after that, he became more and more cautious, ever more
Frightened
cautious.
to make subs.
Yeah, frightened to make subs, frightened, he went really defensive. It was, it was just poor, but you can't blame Grayson for everything because we couldn't pass a ball to save our lives all the time. We couldn't keep hold of the ball.
It's all down to,
let goals in at half time.
Motivation of the players,
time.
and I think that was an issue as well. But we have the Lucky Snickers, so we're going to win the second half, definitely. And also they've got fruit here as well, so they're not quite tangerines. I think they're easy peel satsumas, but it makes a change to be able to get some healthy food. So, but I'm not sure they cancel out the Snickers, but you never know.
Do you think Mike Ashley was sincere in his apology for appearing to profiteer during the virus outbreak?
I haven't seen his apology. I didn't know he was. I didn't know. Somebody will have to explain that to me. Oh, he wanted to keep Sports Direct open because he said it was a vital business, just because he wanted to keep his business open. Basically,
he probably just wanted to sell hand sanitizer. Probably had a big lockup full of it or something. He could have made a lot of money. I don't really know. I don't really follow much.
Alan asks, have you any new ideas for Lee Charles TV when we get back? Well, Lee's been very busy upskilling. He's got a new software package, and you're doing great, aren't you? Every day Lee's learning new things, showing me what he's learning, so there's a lot of exciting stuff in store, definitely.
Yeah, so certainly look more professional next season. I actually look like I know what I'm doing. But I'm sure you've all enjoyed him so far. It's been pretty good fun, hasn't it? But yeah, no, it's more the same, really. We've got a few ideas, or we did have a few ideas. One for like a TV show that we're going to do, and all sorts of stuff. We have got other stuff. We want some interviews with people coming in, and we had a few dinners and things that we were going to go to that we're going to film, and all that sort of just been put on ice for now.
Which may still happen.
It may well do, but it's going to go past. We were going to do. We were going to have something to do with the film that they were going to show at the celebration of the Blackpool Preston, anniversary. We were getting involved with all that, and that's not come. We were supposed to be going to the alternate World Cup, which is called
the Conifer
the
World
Conifers,
Football Cup.
Which is for all those
teams.
Yeah, all those teams that don't qualify for FIFA.
So let's say unofficial, unrecognised nations, as far as FIFA are concerned.
Like the Isle of Man.
The Isle of Man, Jersey.
Yorkshire.
I don't know what they fit in. South Ossetia, North Macedonia, some countries. From
Yeah, so
that was going to be great. So we were going to bring you that this summer. But
so we had press accreditation for that. We were going to show all these different nations, and we were going to North Macedonia in the summer, and that unfortunately has all been put on hold.
And
So
also
we may do that next year, because that may come in 2021. I think they'll probably do it. Would you think? Probably.
I don't
So we may
know.
bring that next summer, but it would have been this summer, which we're a bit disappointed about.
We're also going to, we're planning on we're going to the Football Content Awards, which were going to be at the end of May, which has now been put back to November, I believe. You can still nominate us. You can vote for us.
Yes, vote for us. Vote for us in the Football Content Awards.
We're going for the best new. Lee Charles TV is going for the best new content creator.
Vote.
You've got until the end of this month, which is only a few days away now, to nominate Lee Charles TV for best new content creator. You can do that via the Football Content Awards website. If you also go onto Lee's Twitter, it's his pinned tweets. It tells you what you need to do just to retweet and how you. This is voting to nominate us. And then the actual voting for the categories takes place after that. It's still going to go ahead with the normal time scale. So it's going to be, they'll know who's won, I think, by the end of the season. But it's just the actual awards, and now
the award ceremonies are down at Tottenham's new ground as well, isn't it?
Another thing we were looking forward to going on the tour of Tottenham's new ground and showing you that. So we were always looking out for exciting things to go to, because we like doing exciting things, but also to share them with you as well. So there's always going to be new and exciting things we're going to bring you. It's just at the moment it's a little bit tricky because we can't go anywhere.
No, we can't.
We're doing the best we can. We're trying to keep us all in this Saturday 3:00 routine. Get us all together and talking about football. So.
What do you call a Mexican that lost his car?
This is the half-time joke.
What do you call a Mexican that lost his car? Mexican that lost his car.
No.
No,
you'll have to tell us. Don't know.
Somebody may know the answer to that one. Favourite Blackpool goal this season? The one. There was a couple. The last minute at Accrington Stanley was really good, but really, the last minute against Ipswich was amazing, really, wasn't it? With Joe Nuttall's wonderful goal. Great. Some of those from Kieran Dewsbury Hall as well were crackers, weren't they? Really, I'd love to keep him. I wish we could, but I don't think we will.
Kai.
Kaikai's free kick.
Yeah.
Something like that? No.
I don't remember. My memory's terrible for things like that. I don't remember any goals.
Was there not a great goal he scored against Southend, the Kaikai one, where he kind of run the whole pitch? Wonder how long before they ask for season ticket renewals. Oh, yeah.
Well, some clubs already have. I think Aki have already, haven't they?
Already asked for season ticket renewals?
I mean, it's a way of supporting your club during these times if you can. But obviously we don't know when the season's going to start, so it's a tricky one, really.
It is a very tricky
Favourite
one.
Blackpool goal this season, we've had that one. Did you boycott home games during the Oyston era? Yeah, well, it wasn't really a boycott. It was just I wasn't enjoying it, so I just stopped going. I got the 2-year season ticket and went to 2 games on it, I think. It just wasn't fun anymore. I went to the odd away game, just mainly to new grounds that I hadn't been to, but I didn't really enjoy that. Just switched off from it completely, really. So I guess maybe that's why Blackpool fans, I don't know, we find it a little bit easier to adjust to not going to football maybe than some other fans, because we had so long when we didn't go ourselves.
Christopher Heaney's saying that Chris Maxwell phoned him yesterday.
Oh, right.
What a very nice guy. He chatted with me for about 10 minutes. He's really enjoying playing for the Seasiders.
Oh, that's great. You can tell.
We're really enjoying having him, actually. He's been a fantastic keeper, hasn't he?
So of course, we've only got him till the end of the season as well. So.
Yeah, but he may well sign for another season or whatever. He may sign a bit longer, because we're really taking to him. I like him a lot. I think he's a great keeper.
If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, by the way, while you're here, you can. Where's the button? The subscribe button?
It's down. It's down there in that corner there. There's a little icon. Just click on that, and
then you'll know every time.
I don't know if it's on the live feed. I don't know if it's not on mine. It's not on mine.
Well, that's because you don't need to subscribe.
Because I don't need to subscribe now, but there is. But even underneath the video, there's a little subscribe button. Just definitely subscribe if you haven't done, because it's, you know, we were really growing, and unfortunately the football stopping has just stopped the growth of the channel, because it was just people were joining all the time, and it's just gone a little bit stale. That's which is, you know, why we're trying to keep doing something while we're bored. You know, I suppose you're all bored as well.
And if you're enjoying these Saturday afternoon chats, then, you know, tell your friends.
Let us know, you know, and let us know in the comments you're enjoying them, because we'll keep doing it. If you enjoy talking about football, at least it gives us something to do while we should be watching Blackpool play today.
But yeah, let your friends know as well, and you know, maybe we can get some new people coming in as well to enjoy this time with us as well.
Soulful Aid says there's not much I can do to improve on. The sound's great, the vision's great, it's very stable other than when the Pills score. Well, you've got to go a little bit crazy when you score. You can't keep hold. It's the emotion, you know, runs into you. And I actually, funnily enough, the season before, when we came back and went to the Accrington Stanley game, Sebi went with his camera, and then we had that penalty at Accrington Stanley, and everybody recorded it. Alex had a version of it, and I was recording. You know, we're just recording it on our phones. Sebi's recording it on his, and when they scored, Sebi's phone was just all over the place. You couldn't see anything, and at first he was really embarrassed about it. But I was like saying, no, that's the magic. That's what you want to see. You want to see that going crazy, you know, because that gives you, you know, when we just stood and didn't get involved in it, you want to see all those mad limbs, and it just the video bouncing everywhere.
I actually experienced that on any of my away days, have I? Because I wasn't filming really the football at Southend, and then after that we didn't win. No. We won at Donny, and you were filming that one, and then I didn't really have anything to get excited about any of the matches.
Yeah, with Arm and Nanza, I went mental on that one, completely mental, and yeah, it was just great. But I was kind of filming myself, so I was like jumping up and down, but I should have been filming everybody else. But it didn't matter. It was just wonderful, because that was an injury time goal as well at Doncaster. I thought that was a really great day.
You haven't seen me going mental yet.
Do you remember Ricardo Fuller? Yes,
Ricky Fuller, yeah.
Yeah, I remember him.
He was great, wasn't he?
Great save. Your keeper done against Ipswich.
Did he? What do you call a Mexican that lost
he did.
His car?
Yes, he did, Nick. Yeah, Chris Maxwell made that great save against Ipswich, didn't he? Where he just flicked, you know, whether you're through, and he just flicked it really quick away from him. We kind of scored after that as well. It was like that moment that changed the game, where he saved that and threw it out, and we went down. And
we've got the punchline to the joke.
Oh, Carlos.
The Mexican who's lost his car, Carlos.
Very, very good. Very, very good. We're so slow, yeah. Carlos. What do you call it? Yeah, Carlos, yes. Got it.
You should do a compilation of Lee Charles TV so far.
Well, we thought about this. I definitely thought about doing it. I've even thought about revisiting, you know, a few of the great games that we did. Has that gone on? Is that still on there? Yeah, we were thinking about recreating maybe some of the games, you know, going through some of the games from the season, because obviously I haven't got a massive back catalogue of years and years before. We only got from when we came back, so we may do some videos like that. I'm looking at sprucing up some of the older videos.
I'd still like to do the top 10 dogs, but Lee's not quite so keen on that.
Top 10 dogs.
Yeah, top 10 dogs of the season.
I can't really see that, to be honest.
Anyway, what else? Going back to the list here. What else do we have? Bloomfield Bear had some great news this week. He won.
He did.
He won the best mascot in League One in the poll on the EFL Chile Twitter account.
Yes.
So he's very popular in Chile.
Which vindicates my video where that what was he called? The Ipswich Town. You'll know him, Nick. The Ipswich Town vlogger who rated all the football mascots. What's he called? Alex Griffin, yes. He rated all the football mascots, and he had Bloomfield Bear down at 19th. And I've done a video, you can scroll right down somewhere. It's Bloomfield Bear 19th, no way, where I wasn't happy about it.
You were livid, actually.
I was livid, and I also got a lot of teddy bears involved in it as well, like PC Bobby Bobblestock, who he was outraged about it all. But yes, I really did kick off about that. But
speaking of teddy bears.
Oh yes, we got. Yes, I know what you're getting. I know what she's getting.
Danny.
Yes, Danny. There's Danny Bear.
Who came on pre-season tour to Latvia with us. So he's here as well. He lives with us. Yeah. He's a big Blackpool fan. He's got Coyd on his shirt. He's actually bought him from the Blackpool Football Club shop, so he's an official Blackpool Bear. But
How old is he? Where
he's
did you buy him?
goodness me, probably going back 2000 and at least 2006, something like that. So he's about 14 now, so he doesn't look it, but
Wow.
yeah. So here's Danny.
Wow. Danny Bear.
So yeah, just on the subject of bears, Danny's on Twitter as well. If you want to follow him on Facebook, DANY Danny Bear.
Ollie's Vlog said, did we vlog any other ones before you started? No. In fact, I never really intended to be a football vlogger. That was never the thing on my mind, really. I just heard that Blackpool Football Club were back, and I wanted to sort of film that occasion. And I went to the Village Hotel on the BST meeting, and I filmed that with Terry McPhillips. Then, of course, I did my video about cleaning the seats with BST, which I put onto YouTube, and of course that got picked up by the One Show and the EFL show, and I had interviews with them on the comedy carpet, and that was really, an amazing start. So I kind of thought, what can I do now? I've done this. I've got all this. How can I carry it on?
And I kind of encouraged you a little bit by accident by saying, "Well, look, I get to all the away games. I can do the away games for you, so we might as well." And then with that, and that is how we fell into doing every match, really.
Yeah, well, I met Jane obviously because she had the fanzine, and people that were on A View from the Tower and other message boards were saying, they'd heard that Jane was bringing the fanzine back, so they asked me if I would do an interview with her, which of course we did an interview together, and we got on really well, and
here I am.
Here we are together
stuck
now.
In self-isolation together.
Yeah, stuck with me.
On the subject of the fanzine, by the way, I am compiling issue 5. I'm thinking it's going to be an online version only this time.
Because we can't get any printers to print.
Well, no, I don't know if the printers are open, but it's not. I mean, it's not vital work, is it? So I think I will do it online only. Perhaps bring it out if the season does get finished. Bring it out hard copy.
Maybe.
But yeah, issue 5 there's some great content in there. So if you would like to subscribe or buy that. It should be up in the next couple of weeks. Go on to issue issue.com/BlackpoolJane, and you'll find the fanzines on there. So issue 5 will pop up.
Yeah, some
point over the next couple of weeks.
So it will be in an online version in digital print, but not actually printed in hard copy because there's no football games to sell it at.
But it's a really good issue. I've had some really good content for it. It's a lot of it's historical stuff. In fact, I can probably give you a little sneak preview for LCTV viewers of what this content actually is. I just collated all the articles together. I haven't started putting it together yet, but we've got an article on the Academy, on one on Armand Nangelay, one on a Blackpool fan for many years. There's a match report from 1907. There's a BST column, open letter to Simon Sadler. There's an interesting article on away days and the best away fans and inflatables and different inflatables that different fans have, which is quite interesting actually. As well as there's an update from the SLO and a few other bits and bobs about what it was like watching Blackpool in the 1970s.
We used to have inflatable towers. Does anybody remember the inflatable towers that we used to have?
So there's still what's that?
Nick Muller knows a fan who buys a toy mascot from every ground he goes to.
Oh, cool.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a nice.
Wow. So I have a massive collection. That's really good.
Well, it's like the guy that you the Tranmere fan that you interviewed. He was saying he used to pick up a souvenir from every match, and that's why he started doing the photos and the videos, so he could have his own, make his own memento rather than buying something. And I guess that's kind of like what we're doing now, isn't it? With the videos.
Yeah.
We've always. And my blogs, it's always, a memory of that day. So
yeah.
I guess everyone has their own little way of remembering. A toy mascot, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like Danny, so bring him back.
Uh,
I used to have an Accrington Stanley mug actually. I did I used to have that once upon a time when they were non-league. I think I went there and got that.
What was my first ever Blackpool game? I can't remember. You'll remember, won't you? Mine's just so
Yes,
long
it was
back.
at home to Halifax.
I went with
Town.
my dad. My dad took me when I was about 5, and all I can remember, we were in the South Stand, and I can remember Blackpool scoring, and my dad like throwing me up and down in the air, and that's like, but I don't know which game it was. So
Mine was Halifax Town at home in April 1991. I never watched a football match until Italia 90, and then started following Blackpool in the Gazette, and really wanted to go to a match. It just seemed like an unreal thing that I could actually get to go to a match. And then that April, I went along, and I don't think I missed, I barely missed another home game after that for many years. And then started going away when I could afford to, when I started, when I got a job. And then didn't miss a game at all for 13 years. So.
Yeah, not one game. She went to every away game. I mean, she's been to every away game this season, even to Carlisle in the Carabao Cup.
Yeah, that was another classic, wasn't it? Carlisle?
Yeah, it was another great losing.
But we had a nice time in Penrith on the way up with Solomon.
Tangerine Tower, yes, John had one. Yeah. I remember the blow up Tangerine Tower, because it was like bananas, wasn't there? Was that Man City had the bananas? They started it all off with those big blow up bananas, didn't they? And
Harry the Haddock does feature in this fanzine article. So
Harry the Haddock. I wonder if our loan players will have their contracts extended for when the season resumes. I don't think they will, Chris. To be honest, I don't see.
I don't know.
Well, it all depends on when it. I suppose it all depends on when it restarts. If it restarts, before June, then probably, yeah, I would think so. But I can't see.
Well, I guess it's down to the individual, isn't it? Really, if they don't want to, then they're not contractually obliged to. But if they do want to, if they want to be playing football, then you'd hope that they would. But what I feel sad about is the fact that Neil Critchley hasn't really had that much time to bond with these players before, before they've all gone off, and he can't see them anymore. And hopefully, he's still managing to do that somehow by whatever means. But the relationship between a manager and the players is very important. And if he hasn't got that engagement with them, then do they? It's going to be interesting to see if they they feel attached to the club, and players like Armand Nangelay, are we going to see him again, or is he going to go when his contract expires in the summer?
We don't know, do we? We really don't know. I mean, people are talking. They're still talking as if this virus is just going to a couple of weeks, it's all going to be over. But I think it's going to go on for months. I can't see it. I don't even think we've even begun with this virus yet, to be honest.
Lol Bosch has just said, "Hello, I'm French."
Oh.
In England.
Oh, well, that's a great English joke from Lol Bosch. Very, very good.
No, he's French.
Yeah, but his Mexican joke, he was the one that asked the Mexican joke.
Oh, right, okay, yes.
Yeah, so very, very good.
You're French in England. Whereabouts in England are you?
Yeah, whereabouts in England, Lol Bosch, are you living? And whereabouts in France are you from?
And what news from France? Because they're a little bit ahead of us in world events at the moment, I think, aren't they?
Yeah. How are things on lockdown in France? That would be interesting to know.
There's curfews in France at the moment. We were just reading this morning, weren't we, about potentially what we've got coming next in terms of more severe measures coming our way, and potentially, I think is it in France where they've got the curfew, 6 p.m. curfew, and I think when people go out for their daily exercise, they're only allowed out in ones, which would certainly affect us, wouldn't it? I'm not sure I feel comfortable out walking on my own.
No, that's not good for girls on their own, is it? To walk on their own.
No.
Quite dangerous. Chris Heaney's first game was Ernie Taylor's first home game for the Pool in, wait for it, 1951. Chris, blimey. You have been going a long time.
Well, did you go
David
to the
Scholes was West Brom at home, 70-71, Division 1, 1-3-1. Lowell Bosch lives in Milton Keynes.
Milton Keynes, yeah, that's another one we've missed out on, isn't it? We were looking forward to going to. Have you seen the robots that deliver the shopping in Milton Keynes from Co-op? Have you seen those? I was so excited about going to Milton Keynes to see the robots.
Yeah,
I wonder if are they still going? Are they still in action in Milton Keynes, or are they a safe way to deliver shopping, or are people attacking robots to take the shopping off them? I don't.
Yeah, that could be bad, couldn't it?
Can we get to Lee Charles versus Jane Stewart FIFA live stream? We don't have FIFA. We don't have FIFA. That would
No,
be,
we don't play. Sebi plays FIFA,
Yeah.
but he actually played the games for me for for the FIFA games that I did. It was all Sebi that did those. I just recorded him playing. Jane's never played FIFA, although we have played the. They got one of those Quest HD 3D headsets for Christmas.
Oculus Quest.
Yeah,
They're
the Oculus
amazing.
Quest. Yeah, oh my gosh, that
Yeah.
is amazing. If you ever get to try one of those, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't know if you watched Ant and Dec a few weeks ago. They were playing what's it called? What we play? The
the one with the things.
what's it
coming
called?
at you.
Beat Saber.
Beat Saber.
Yeah, we played that. Oh, it's so good.
It's unbelievable.
I won at that as well.
Yeah,
so,
she did.
Lee hates me because I win at everything. I won
Yeah,
Monopoly.
she won at Monopoly,
and I
Beat
won
Saber. It's unbelievable. How she can be so good, I don't know.
Yeah, they're trying to find something that they can beat me at, but they haven't managed to do that. So.
Oh, Lol Bosch has seen the robots.
Yeah, but not recently.
But not recently. No, I suppose they've got to be careful. People might start attacking them.
I don't think you can get into them, and they have got cameras on them, I think.
Oh, they are. Yeah.
No, I love them.
So whereabouts in France are you from, Lol Bosch? Whereabouts in France were you born, or where you used to live? I mean, for Chris Heaney, you'll remember the days when fans climbed up the floodlight pylons to watch the match, especially when we played United. Oh, did they? Bit like Fleetwood in the trees then, because we went to Fleetwood, the Fleetwood game at Fleetwood, and there was fans in the trees there watching the match, which was so they used to climb the pylons. Oh, I wouldn't like to do that at all. Do we go to the Pleasure Beach often?
Well, we were going to buy season tickets this year,
we
so
were,
we could go regularly.
We were going to do some introductions from the Pleasure Beach as well. I had all different places we could have done intros from, because we were going to get the season passes this year, the locals passes, and that was going to be really quite good. We're going to do quite a few things from the Pleasure Beach, but unfortunately, it's all not happening, is it?
No, maybe next year.
But yeah, it's funny really when you live in a town where you've got the Pleasure Beach there to go to every day. You don't.
But because I've just moved back from 20 years away, I appreciate it more really, and want to immerse myself in Blackpool really, and I haven't had a chance to yet. And
we did go actually near Jane's birthday, didn't we?
On my birthday.
Oh, on your birthday, yes, of course. And we did. We had a great time there. That new ride, that Icon.
Icon's amazing.
It's unbelievable. It's so good. It's if you do get a chance to go to the Pleasure Beach and ride Icon, it's just so exciting. It's not scary. It's just exciting. Really.
My favourite ride
really
was
fast.
the Wallace and Gromit ride. That was amazing. I loved it so much. We went on it twice.
Yeah, the Wallace and Gromit was great.
I couldn't get off. I'm like, can we go again? Can we go again? He's like, yeah, we can go again. But there's so much to see. It's amazing. You go down into the. You go down into his his workspace where he invents everything, and you there's just so much going on. You've got the rabbits and it's just superb. I love it. Yeah.
Well, Jane likes Shaun the Sheep anyway. Well, you could probably see. I don't know if you can see, just sort of like there there's some.
Oh, Wallace and Gromit.
There's Wallace and Gromit there. Actually, on the windowsill there. Yeah, they're like rocking things. Apparently, rocking with solar powered. They are. So, yeah, you can see them there. Yeah, you can see. Yeah, you can see he's rocking his head running there. Gromit's head. Not recently. Do you go to the place
called Ornon? I don't know where that is. Whereabouts in France is that?
Ornon. Is that south of France, north of France, near Paris kind of area, or middle? It's probably very, very nice.
I've been to France for a few years.
No.
I've been to Paris.
We were going to kind of stop over in France on the way, because we were going to do a road trip to
North Macedonia.
Yeah, to North Macedonia. Because I won't fly.
You will.
So I think we were going to do like a car journey. We were going to like vlog. It would have been brilliant. Honestly, we're so disappointed that that's not on, because that would have been brilliant for you this summer. You'd have really enjoyed it.
There will be other adventures in the future, I'm sure.
Yeah, there will be adventures.
Ollie's vlogs. As I'm from Wales, I don't go to many matches, but in every game I've been to, Delfonso has missed an open goal. Well, he's not the only one, is he? But I'm not sure. He's the answer. Him and Nuttall are not.
No, they're not
really,
the answer.
Any of them, to be honest, up front. I mean, it's not our strongest area, is it? Really?
No, it's not.
It's certainly an area we can.
In fact, without Armand Nangele, it would have just been.
Oh, you can't imagine, can you?
No.
I think someone did do a calculation earlier on in the season, and without Nangele's goals, we'd be in the relegation zone. Yeah. Talking of Gromit, he's currently hypnotising me out of the corner of my eye.
Yeah. He's rocking. You probably noticed him now.
He's got very vigorous ears.
Have you watched Farmageddon yet, Jane?
Farmageddon. That's the
Is that not
Shaun the Sheep. Is that the movie? It's on Netflix. We saw it, didn't we?
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Because there was a Farmageddon, which is where you go for Halloween, isn't it? At some farm out somewhere where you get scared, a bit like Passage del Terror, but it's called Farmageddon. They always advertise it on the radio, and I'm always thinking, I don't fancy that.
I did one of those ones. I've been chased round a maze with a man with a chainsaw.
That's
pretty cool. Actually.
No.
Farmageddon. I'm not sure actually. I need to get on that. And I think there's a new series of Shaun the Sheep as well, isn't there?
Have we seen the article on why Neil Critchley could be Blackpool's best ever appointment? I think it was written by Blackpool FC 24/7. No, I haven't. Whereabouts is that?
Where do we find that?
So where do we find that? I'll have a look at that.
I do believe that he could be Blackpool's.
I actually was so. I thought it was an amazing appointment. It was totally left field. You weren't expecting it. It was never mentioned in any of the managers who were, they were saying it could be, in the betting. It just came from nowhere. But then the more you thought about it, the more it seemed perfect, because obviously Blackpool, looking into building this new training ground and academy, which obviously Neil Critchley has. That's what he's been doing with Liverpool, so he would be the perfect guy to make sure that was all done correct. And I also felt that, he was part of the Liverpool setup, so a lot of those players that have come through Liverpool have been coached by him, so you can tell he's a great coach. Jurgen Klopp was so, sure about him that he actually let him take charge of the first team a couple of times, and I think it was a great... He's coming with no baggage, is he, from anywhere? You've got no fans saying, we had him at Blackburn Rovers who was rubbish or whatever. So you got none of that, and also he would know lots of young players. He will have, not only from Liverpool's academy, who he would know very well, that he may be able to get that didn't quite make it for Liverpool, but he'd also would have seen lots of young lads at all that level coming through for other teams when he was playing against them. I'm sure he had loads of lads that he could be looking at to fill places, and he would know the kind of player that would slot in that we would need. I think that would have been really, really good.
Nick Muller is asking, when will soap operas have Corona in them? Well, there's already been in Coronation Street. They've been having characters washing their hands and singing Happy Birthday while they're washing their hands. But it'll be interesting to see how that develops. Obviously, they've stopped filming now, haven't they? All the soaps. So, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see if it does get brought in. Certainly it will have to when they come back, when they start filming again, but it'll be interesting to see how they do that. Are they just going to carry on with the storylines, or is it going to be, X months later, this is what's happened? It's, how are they going to finish them off? I know, it'll be interesting. So I'm worried about Yasmin in a domestic abuse situation, being self-isolated with that horrible man. That could be, it could drive her to the edge.
Yeah, I would imagine it's going to come into it. I would definitely imagine it's going to come into it. But they are actually limiting now the amount of Coronation Street's on.
It wasn't on last night. I think they're going down to 3 episodes a week as opposed to 6 from this week, which will take us into the early summer. So we'll still have our Corrie Fix, and apparently they are still showing the old ones on ITV.
Didn't Coronation Street originally used to be on just once a week?
It used to be, when I was little, it always used to be Mondays and Wednesdays at 7:30, and then it's gradually sort of increased over
6 days a week is a lot, isn't it?
It's not 6 days, it's 2 episodes Monday, 2 on Wednesday, 2 on Friday. So they kind of move it about a bit. Wow. But they've got a huge cast now.
So. Ornans is near the east. So what would be the biggest city or town near Ornans if we were looking on the map?
I'm going to look it up.
We're going to find it. It was on a view from the tower a while ago. That is the soap operas of Corona and
no, it's there. It's just over towards Switzerland.
Oh, it's near Switzerland. Oh, okay.
It's another country I've never been to, Switzerland.
Would that have been on the way to our journey towards North Macedonia?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
Could have maybe called in
Yeah,
on the way to
think
North
so.
Macedonia to the Conifers, which
Mind you, it would have taken us through.
So what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing at the moment to keep yourselves? Have you got anything you can tell us about that you're doing that we could have a look at and maybe do while we're missing football immensely? Have you got anything that you could tell us about? Just post in the comments below if there is.
What was your reaction when we were fined in 2010?
Oh, what with Ollie? Oh, I couldn't believe it. Honestly, I couldn't believe it. I was, and my dad couldn't believe it either. I mean, we went to that game. I went to the Aston Villa game, and Blackpool were just. I don't know how we lost that game. I'll never know. I mean, how Aston Villa beat us in that game. We were all over him. They didn't know who Kevin Phillips, Matty Phillips was. They just played so well, and then of course we got the equaliser with DJ Campbell, and there was only ever going to be one winner. There was no way Aston Villa were going to win that game, and how they came up with that winner in like injury time from like the edge of the box ahead of it, curled in the top corner. It was unbelievable, and then to fine us for fielding a weakened team where we didn't even have a strong team. I mean, we had a squad of whatever it was, 24 players, and none of them were superstars. Not one of them. You could have picked any combination of players because they were all just of the same value. It just was not a weakened team. It was a disgrace. I still think it was a disgrace even now. It still annoys me.
Oh well,
I'm glad you brought it up. Actually.
I was annoyed that we fielded a weakened team because if we'd won that match, then we might not have got relegated.
But they couldn't have played better. It didn't
They
matter
did play
what.
very well,
It didn't matter what team we played on that night. They could not have played better than that team played against Aston Villa. We absolutely pulverised. That second half against Villa was unbelievable. We were just all over them. It was so good. They were not a weakened team. We didn't have a strong team. We didn't, and also they were picked out of this squad. You had to name a 24-man squad. So if you can't pick a team from your 24-man squad, what's the point of a 24-man squad? He did make a lot of changes, but we played fantastic.
You weren't happy about that, were you?
No, I'm not. And we should have won.
On the subject of wage deferrals, Leeds and Birmingham have asked players to take wage deferrals. Leeds in particular is only plays if they're earning above a certain amount, which, to be fair, they don't need all that money, do they? So it's...
Well, we were discussing this the other day, weren't we, about how much money a person needs? Because it's all right. I mean, David Haythornthwaite actually quoted in his thing that, why does anybody need £900 a week? But you do.
You earn it, you spend it, don't you?
Well, no, you do if you've got £900 a week bills to pay because you've bought loads of things based on the fact that you're earning £900 a week. So he may not have a lot of disposable income, and when he knocks his income down to 450, it could be very... if he is living that beyond his means, because we all kind of live to our means, don't we? That's what happens with money. The more money you get, the more money you spend on.
You expect it to keep coming and not, especially when people in other walks of life, are getting, 80% or full wages if they're still working, if they're fortunate enough to work. But why should footballers be, treated worse than the rest? I
mean, some of the football, Premier League footballers that are on £350,000 a week, surely they can take a bit of a pay cut, but will they? You know what I mean? There's so much greed in football at that top level. It's unbelievable, and some of these players that are on massive wages, over £200,000-300,000 a week.
But there's been some.
Will they take pay cuts? But they should.
I know David Haythornthwaite wasn't very popular in a lot of the things that he's come out with this week, but one thing that was interesting and that I understand has been discussed, at EFL level as well, is potentially wage caps. Capping players' wages at a certain level. But the whole league agreeing that all the players will get paid, only up to that level, which takes it back to, that was the big problem with Blackpool, wasn't it? Blackpool were competing until that wage cap, got blown out of the water. We were able to compete in football until that happened in the 60s or 70s, and then so it's a leveler, and I think that money in football has gone out of control. There's no doubt about that. When players are going for £100 million, it's just it's ridiculous. So to cap wages.
Well, I think one of the things that really
Is it a bad idea,
annoyed
really?
me with the football, with the money in football, is when they announced the Sky deal, the new Sky deal, and they were going to give them 100 million every year, 115 million every year. I said to somebody, as soon as that goes, as soon as they give a Premier League club 115 million, you can guarantee they're just going to go and buy one player for 100 million. And it just happened straight away with United. They bought somebody for 100 million euros, and people are saying, well, that's what he's worth, but the year before, there'd have no way they'd have paid 100 million for him. If they give the clubs, if this deal comes through with Amazon Prime and they get 500 million a season, you can guarantee players will get bought for 500 million straight away, because everybody wants their piece of the money. So Italy, all their players' prices will go up, and France and Germany and everywhere, all the price of the players will go up because they know, the Premier League are getting 500 million a year. It's just it's unbelievable. Makes no sense at all to me.
Nick Muller says Ipswich would have been playing Southend right now. Who are we playing today? Is it Peterborough? No, or tomorrow? Is that this weekend? Is it Peterborough weekend?
Best away fans you've seen at Bloomfield Road
Peterborough
ever?
Tomorrow. On the telly, we'll be on telly at Peterborough.
Best away fans ever? Well, I mean the ones this season were obviously Tranmere Rovers. They were just unbelievable.
Yeah, but have we ever seen anything better than Tranmere this season?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure they could be better, to be honest. I thought they were amazing.
Yeah, they were
to a man.
They were incredible. They had. They sang the whole game. They sang the whole way from start to finish. They had a couple of drummers, which were not just banging drums, but these were proper drummers drumming away, and it just went on and on. They had that Tequila song that went on and on, but there was about 1,000 of them. But I would have said 998 of them sang the whole way through. It was like all of them.
They were amazing.
They were just incredible. It was the most amazing. They deserved to win. Just their fans,
You're almost pleased for them that they won, really.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, you're not pleased they won, but you were pleased they won for them. Yeah, because they deserved it. Honestly. They deserve it. I've never seen it. Even us. And we do sing a lot when we go away, but they were incredible. They were just incredible. I would say they're the best. After that, I don't know.
Imagine winning the lottery.
Hated Portsmouth because of that silly bell.
Imagine winning the lottery and being stuck in isolation lockdown. Wow.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have any money worries, would you?
No.
You'd be earning interest.
You'd be able to, yes.
You can't even plan any holidays, can you?
Is the lottery still going? Are they still doing the lottery?
They're donating £300 million to help us out in this time of crisis from the lottery funds.
But can you still get lottery tickets? Are they still open for that? I suppose they will.
I guess you can still do it online, can't you?
Well, the bookie's still open. Can you still put a bet on it?
I wouldn't say that's vital, but I guess again, still online. What are you betting on though? There's no sport.
Yeah, there's no sport. There's no horse racing. There's no football. Yeah,
maybe the Lego match.
You have to just
tonight.
go in and play.
Well, we've got odds on this Lego match tonight, haven't we?
Oh, there's odds on the Lego match. Yeah, there is a Lego match for those that just joined. There's a Lego game tonight. It's Marvel, is it, versus DC Comics or something? Who is it? Marvel. Jane will tell you. It's Jane's thing, that. Soulful A, Peterborough away, that bar on the barge near the ground. Yes, so it was Peterborough away. Yeah, we were going to go to that, weren't we? This barge, you were going to take me to the barge.
Where we would possibly be there right now. In fact,
this was one that I was going to. Actually, I got the tickets for this one, so that's a shame. That would have been a slightly different.
We were going to go down because we booked our train already for the Saturday before they moved it to the Sunday. So we would have already been going down this morning and spent the day in Peterborough today. We had a nice hotel booked, didn't we, for tonight? And then
it would have been a great video. It was Sunday game, wasn't it? Oh, it's on Sky, of course.
Which I actually don't. I hope I didn't book that hotel actually because I couldn't find the booking to cancel it. But I think,
Great pub, says Nick Muller. Great pub, the Barge and the Peacock pub.
The Peacock pub, I don't know that one.
No, not been there.
There's a lot of great pubs in there.
John Stevens did do last night's lottery, so you still can get lottery tickets, obviously. I suppose you could do it online as well, couldn't you? You can actually put your bet on online.
I used to do it. Just thought direct debit online.
I haven't done the lottery for years. I used to be at a time when everybody, when it first started, where everybody thought they were going to win the lottery. It was a big talk.
Well, there was a guy from Blackpool who did win it quite early on as well, so that's sort of made it
Carl
feel a bit
Crompton.
more tangible.
Carl Crompton won it. Yeah.
Actually married a girl I went to school with.
Yeah, I was really disappointed because I went to a 21st birthday party for Carl it wasn't for Carl Crompton. It was for some guy that I didn't actually know. I was invited along as a +1, and we're in this room. I think it was. Where did we go to? We went to this restaurant anyway, and there was only 21 people there. And in those 21 people, Carl Crompton was one of the people there. And this was just before he won the lottery. He won the lottery about 3 weeks after. And I spoke to him, and I'd never met him in my life before, but I knew that moment that when one person out of 21 won 9 point something million the lottery, I was never going to win the lottery, because you're never going to get two people out of that same room. And I was just to say to myself, why did I go to that stupid meal? Because I was never going to win it. It was never going to happen, and it just killed it all for me that day. I couldn't believe it.
It's very sad.
Yeah, well,
I don't think it works like that.
How could it? What, like two people going to the same meal get to win the lottery? Nah.
Well, I wasn't there. Does that mean I've still got a chance?
You still got a chance. And every one of you has still got a chance because you weren't at that meal with Carl Crompton, so you could still win the lottery. But me, I have no chance. I have no chance.
Not been to Bloomfield Road yet. What stand would you recommend to sit in, and what B&B should I stay in when this crisis is over? Well, depends what you like. There's different stands for different people, really.
Yeah. Well, would you be coming with an away? Would you come in as an away fan?
I think she's a Blackpool fan, isn't she?
I thought she was Milky. No. Well, the south is the north is where all the sort of the muckers and the singers. So if you like singing and you like it,
if you want to stand up,
and if you don't mind standing up, then
and you don't mind a smoke bomb,
and you don't mind the odd smoke bomb, and
it's quite a small concourse as well.
Yeah, the
so
concourse
you're very much in it there in the north.
Yeah, you are. You're in with all the riffraff, but it's kind of, when you go on, it's so loud and bouncy and noisy. It's a brilliant stand.
We're in the south, aren't we?
We're at the opposite end.
So we can actually see the north stand bouncing.
Yeah, we can see it. Well, you probably see on the videos. We can see it bouncing, but it's a little bit. It's not. It does get going, but it doesn't get going like the north.
Yeah,
it's
the
not as loud.
atmosphere's not the same, but the concourse is massive.
Yeah, there's a beautiful concourse at half time. You've got lots of space to walk around in. The west, which goes down the side, of the match, that's
more your sort of older generation, more sensible people, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, more sensible people tend to sit there. Yeah, really, that's it. Obviously, if you're a away fan, I don't know what I've done there. That's it. That's ground there. So I knocked the table. That's it. Yeah.
So yeah, it's just finding something that suits you, really. And I prefer the south.
If you're an away fan, you would sit on the east stand, which is it's actually a sort of semi-temporary stand. It was built for the Premier League by the Oysters. They got it up throughout the summer, but it's properly pile driven in, and it's a proper solid stand, but it only has sort of like temporary seating in it. So it's boarded. That is one of the stands they will redevelop, but the only problem with it being a temporary stand, it has like stanchions going all the way down, so they can block your view a little bit. So that's not the greatest of stands if you're an away fan to sit in.
Peacock pub in Peterborough, right outside the ground, next door to KFC. Yeah, I went to Peterborough the one time, and there was a beer festival in every single pub we went in, which was a treat.
North for the pitch invasion, says Sophie.
Yeah.
Yes, if you want to invade the pitch, I've never got that. I just honestly.
It's just a daft kid thing, isn't it?
But even when I was a daft kid, I just can't see the point of running on the pitch. It's like the last thing on my mind. If we score an amazing goal, I'm just going mental. I don't need to run on the pitch. I'm just jumping up and down, and I'm excited, and I'm grabbing hold of the kids or my dad, and we're just jumping on each other and just going absolutely mental. But actually, just running on the pitch, it doesn't even cross my mind. The only time actually I've ever really run on the pitch is when you used to run on the pitch at the end of the season, where everybody would run on and celebrate. Yeah. I got that, and I used to quite like going on, and you used to go and stand in front of the goals and think, I fancy taking a penalty here, and you could see what the grass was like and all. So I quite enjoyed walking on the pitch at the end of the season, but running on the pitch in a game, and certainly not like that. I just can't understand the mentality of that Fleetwood fan they were chasing him all around. I think just
He's probably off his face.
yeah,
Wasn't
it's not for me. It's a daft thing. It's a daft thing.
No atmosphere in the south. Well, no, there isn't really, is there?
There is a bit. There is a bit when you score, and there used to be a lot more atmosphere in the south when Hoggy used to be in the south, because they used to have a thing. Wonga did a thing in the east corner of the south where they had like it had all like Wonga 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 Wonga, and then it had Hoggy at the end, and that's where he used to stand with his drum.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, so Hoggy used to be, in the south, and then it was really noisy in the south. In fact, the south could do with a drummer. Really, I think that's what they could do with, to drum the enthusiasm.
Oh, Cod's Vlog says, love these streams. Cheers, Ben. Nice.
Oh,
nice to have you here. So
thanks,
you.
Ben.
Yeah, we like them too, don't we?
We enjoy talking to all you lot, honestly.
Yeah,
it's
it's
great
great.
because we're just so bored. We don't know what to do on a Saturday with no football, so we thought, why not chat with everybody about football? We'd just like a load more people in, because if we get more comments, it gives us stuff to talk about, obviously, and
it makes it more of
the
a good
idea is
atmosphere
for
as well.
for us to be talking to you, and so if you've got anything you want to ask us, that'll be great.
Nick Muller says
We've
nice.
got 10 minutes actually. We're 10 minutes. We're almost up. Yeah, maybe a little bit of injury time. If you've got anything you want to ask us, ask us now. If you haven't voted on the football
Content Awards,
make sure you do.
And vote for Ben as well. Cod's Vlogs.
Yeah, Cod's Vlogs. Yeah, he's
his
going
best
for
young content
creator.
Are you able to post a link, Ben, into this message?
Yeah, you probably
thread?
can. Ben can probably post a link to
So
his.
you can post a link, then people can go to Content Awards, vote for you as best young content creator, and vote for us as best new content creator. That'd do us both a favour there, wouldn't it?
Obviously there's it's
Oh,
Ramos.
he's voted for us, he says. Yeah, so yeah. We just
Yes, we know you have, but we were just saying, Ben, if you want to put a link in the comments, you can do for you as well. Because if you haven't watched Ben's COD vlogs yet, he's
really good.
He's
Enthusiastic.
He's a young Fleetwood fan, but he's fantastic. His emotions during the game are just fantastic, and I really took to him when Blackpool played Fleetwood, not this season, but the season before, when Delfonso scored in injury time, and if you remember, Fleetwood were down to 10 men, and they were really hanging on. And when you watched Ben, because he keeps talking to the camera all the time, and he was really, you could feel the stress, and he was like not wanting Fleetwood to let a goal in. Then they went down to 10 men, and we scored in like injury time. I think I think Nangele did it come back off the? It came back off the post, didn't it? Did it come back off the post? And he put it in, Delfonso, and you could see that Ben was almost in tears. I really felt for him that day, because you know how hard it is, if you let a late goal in it, especially when you've been hanging on that long.
It's great to see
awful.
your personality.
But he's got that great enthusiasm. So I've kind of followed him since then, you know what I mean?
Because you watch some of these vloggers, and the personality, just even the ones that do really well, they don't come across as likeable with the personalities, but Ben's got that in spades. Nick Muller says, isolation in a pub, what would that be like? Pub food every day.
What B&B?
You drink a lot, wouldn't you? Though.
Yes. Kanice is asking what B&B would we recommend coming to Blackpool. Well, to be honest, I can't really, because I never stay in a B&B in Blackpool.
I used to stay in the Glendowie, which is down Lonsdale Road, which is it's about literally a 2-minute walk from the ground. And the reason I used to stay there, because I used to just stay everywhere, and but I stayed there once, and I forgot all about it. Carried on staying in other places. Then at Christmas, they sent me a Christmas card saying from, I can't remember what they were, Merv and somebody at the Glendowie. I thought, that's such a lovely touch, and it's a nice. So I thought, that's it. I'll go and stay there now. So for years after that, I used to just go and stay at the Glendowie. So that's the Glendowie Hotel on Lonsdale Road.
There's a few nice ones on St Chad's Road, but again, I don't know the names of them.
There's everywhere. There's more hotel rooms in Blackpool than in Portugal, so you're not going to go short. You can. It depends what you want.
If you want to go out in town after, then if you're going to be going out in town, then somewhere about Albert Road, there's quite a few nice ones on there. The Ruskin. There's one that comes to mind, but if you're going to do something like the Pleasure Beach, then you want to be down that other end. There's
a new hotel there, isn't there, at the Pleasure Beach?
There is, but it's expensive. There's the Boulevard Hotel. There's the Big Blue at the Pleasure Beach, but they're not B&Bs. They're more hotels. They're quite expensive. There's a Hampton by Hilton down there as well, which is very, very, very nice. But it might be a little bit
You can
more
stay
expensive.
anywhere.
Travel lodges are always okay. I always think you know what you're getting. There's one right by the football ground on Bloomfield Road. There's one near the Pleasure Beach.
Depends what you want. If you just want, somewhere with a bed and a shower, you can get, anywhere really for £20. They're all much for muchness. They're all okay.
What's the funniest thing you've ever seen at Bloomfield Road, Jane? The funniest thing? Honestly, Larry's head. The light off Larry's head. We were laughing at that, weren't we? The light was bouncing off his bald head. What game was that where I filmed that? The light was coming off. That was quite funny.
The funniest thing. Oh gosh, this.
I tell you what, Mike. I tell you what, I used to love. You'll only remember this. You went to football in the 80s, but at half time they used to have these big giants, and they had to run across the pitch. They had fans dressed as these they're like a big giant.
80s, I remember that.
Was it 90s?
Yeah.
Yeah, these huge giants, and they had to run from one side to the other, and they used to fall over and everything. And honestly, they were so top heavy and everything. That was hilarious. Honestly, that was the best halftime entertainment ever at Bloomfield Road for me. It was unbelievable. In fact, I bring it back. It was a bit like It's a Knockout, but just it was so funny because they were.
And they had the Wonga things with what were they called? Those.
Oh,
big
that big ball. Yeah, but it wasn't as funny. I mean, the giants were just hilarious because they just fell over all the time. People running them, and the little legs, and they were 15 foot tall or something, the big thing, and they're just running across. They had to run from one end to the other, didn't they, across the pitch. I used to love them. Yeah.
I remember the reaction of the Hartlepool fans when they scored a goal against us the one time. They hadn't scored a goal for about 3 months, and of course you knew when they came to Blackpool they were going to score, and there was only a few dozen of them just standing in the old the East Paddock right up at the end, and they scored, and it went mental. They invaded the pitch, and it was like they'd won the cup or something, and they just got an equaliser in a league game of Blackpool. Right. That was pretty funny.
Here's one that I think we'll be able to say this one together actually, Jane. It says, Ollie's Vlog says, the best manager, not including Bowyer and Holloway, and I think there's only one really, isn't there? Can you think of your favourite manager other than Holloway or Bowyer? I would go for... We're going to say it together. Is he not yours? Billy Eyre was my favourite.
Oh, cool. Yes.
Should we say it together? Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Billy Eyre!
Billy Eyre's country, yes.
He was the best.
Yeah.
You got, honestly, Billy Eyre.
Oh, God, he was amazing. Just there.
My God,
Yeah, he was incredible. Yeah. God, he was manager.
I've never had a worse day in my life, never mind with football. Yeah. When he lost
he was manager when I first started going to watch Blackpool.
Yeah, Billy Ayres.
I used to have a little picture of him.
Yeah. Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Billy Ayres.
Yeah, Billy Ayres. Yeah, I loved him. I still remember where I was when I found out that he lost his job. I don't know how I heard it. I was walking down Mowbray Drive. I was at Blackpool Sixth Form College at the time. I was walking down Mowbray Drive, and someone must have told me maybe as I was coming out of Sixth Form, because we didn't have mobile phones at that time. I just remember walking down the road thinking, how could they do that? It was just... it just didn't make any sense. So I was really
Preston
upset.
Losing, the funniest thing.
That's always
fun. Bloomfield Road, yeah.
Copper hit by the ball.
Playoffs Pool away. Was that when we played Hangers Monkey? Hartlepool, yeah, when we had the big screen. He says a player got injured and the St John's guy ran on with a stretcher to the screen. I don't remember that. I was there.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I can't remember that. Oh, God, I don't
great
remember
that.
Yeah.
Will there be a pre-season this year, asks Nick Muller. Well, there's got to be, hasn't there? Whether we're going to be allowed to go to it, or whether... they're going to have to just do something behind closed doors because of things being how they are.
Yeah. Everyone likes this stream, says Ben Coswell. Well, we've got 9 likes so far, so if you like it, give it a like. Click that like button. One more. We've got 9. Can we get 10? We got 10. We got 10. Thank you.
I love pre-season. I really do love pre-season, and I wasn't sure I'd be able to do it this year actually, because we'd taken the time off to go to North Macedonia, which obviously we're not going to anymore. But I've had some great pre-seasons in Northern Ireland, Scotland, Isle of Man, Latvia. So wherever, if they do a tour, there's only like a handful of us that go on these pre-season tours.
Yeah, I don't normally
they're
go
so
pre-season, but I went to them all this time with Jane, and they were great.
You didn't come to Longridge.
No,
that was my first
yeah,
away day, wasn't it?
That was Jane's first attempt. So she did quite well as Charlie's Angel. So, yeah, Lee Charles Angel. But Barrow was great, wasn't it? It was a lovely day. That was first time, really. It was just a fabulous day. We interviewed Ian Everton in that video, and fabulous. I'll definitely do more pre-season again. It was great as well. And you can watch the football. You can kind of watch the football without the pressure of caring whether you win or lose. So you just kind of enjoy the day and watch the football, which is always quite nice, especially when we're doing these videos as well, because there's, nobody likes losing, but when you actually got to then make a video after that when we've lost, it's really hard to do, honestly.
Well, you also need a pre-season. I mean, we're going to need a pre-season to get back into remembering what to do on these videos again. It was always the same when I was working at Chasetown. I needed the pre-season to remember, my secretary's job, what to do. It's not just the players that need a pre-season. We need to remember what we're doing as well, how to get the sound right, how to get the everything. So
Cos Vlogs is definitely Fleetwood's best vlogger. He's brilliant.
He's asking, you planning on any other content during
Did Jane
this
get
period?
refunded for any of the away day trains? I think
you have
actually.
I've had my refund for Shrewsbury, and Peterborough should be on its way as well. They've advanced tickets, but they're even.
We haven't got our refunds on the actual tickets, have we?
The tickets for what?
The tickets
for the matches.
Yeah,
no,
I've got tickets.
We haven't asked, have we? Oh, we'll still go, won't we, if they have to?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
So Codsvogs is asking if we're planning on any other content during this period. We're working on something
Not
at the
sure
moment.
about our new forum. Are you talking about the View from the Tower forum? Jane likes it, but I can never find anything. I post something and it's just gone and it's never there anymore.
We need to spend a bit of time.
It doesn't
figuring out how it
like
works.
on the older View from the Tower. Your post stayed there for a while and you could see all the people answering. But I find it. I'm not that keen on it, if I'm being honest. I don't like it as much as the old way.
But everyone seems to have migrated across now, don't they? So I prefer it because actually we can see on the analytics on my blog, which is janestewart.co.uk, by the way, if you haven't gone on there yet. On the analytics to see where my referrals are coming from, you can actually see which ones are coming via AVFTT now. So that's something that the old functionality that the old one.
Ben Cosvog thinks there'll be some friendlies before they play any league football. Well, probably. I mean, the players are going to have to get fit, aren't they? They're not going to be able to. I mean, this is probably longer than a summer break for them, and also they can't really train, can they either? So.
Well, sure they can, but they're just doing things in the garden, aren't they?
Jane, have you recovered from your away game blues? I think we have by now, aren't we?
Yeah, I'd say I'm enjoying just not going to football. To be honest, I'm not. I can't say I'm missing it. To be honest. It's been hard. It has been hard this year.
It's been a big commitment.
It's the travelling and the just the terrible football. It's just been I said I just wanted the season over as soon as possible. I wasn't quite expecting it to be over this quickly. No. Not that it is over yet, but it is, isn't it? Realistically, so,
I think it is. Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to. Well, yeah, I'm not thinking about going back yet. To be
honest. You're off to Wembley next week. And hopefully get refunded. What was on at Wembley? What was going on at Wembley? One thing that you wish you had back at Blackpool. One thing that you wish you had back at Blackpool. Don't know. I'll think about that.
Good football.
Yeah, good football. Yeah, I think we were going to start getting good football in Hill Critchley. I thought it looked very exciting football, a lot more exciting than what we got used to. And you could see just within a few games that they were starting to look like a football team rather than a team that didn't know what they were doing. I mean, which was the game you went to? They looked like 11 strangers who never played a game in their life together.
Yeah,
which game was that?
Most of them, to be honest.
Which was the
Burton was pretty bad.
Burton.
Cosmogs, do you mind me using your YouTube profile pic in my video when talking about your videos? It's in my latest video. That's very confusing. I don't understand that.
Do you mind me using your YouTube profile pic in my video when talking about? No, we don't mind that at all. We don't mind you. use it with pleasure if you're talking about us.
Checker Trade final at Wembley next week. Who's that? Is that Portsmouth? I don't know what the Checker Trade is. Which one's that? It's full time, by the way.
Oh, it's full time. Yeah, we're into injury time, so just a couple of more minutes. Anybody got a last question before we go? I'll see you next Saturday for more. And
have a good week and stay positive and keep busy, and don't forget tonight 7:00. I'll just give you the address again where you can find this Lego football match, which is
Pompey versus Salford.
It's Marvel Universe versus 80s Spacemen in the Lego Isolation Cup from 7:00. If you go on to @Mr_Jimbob on Twitter, you will be able to find that. So with Batman the referee. So
why did it all go wrong for Simon Grayson? Do you think he was solely responsible? I think he was a big factor in it. Yeah, I think he fell out with players.
I think he fell out of love with football. Is how it seemed. You know, he wasn't in football management. I think he was persuaded to come back to Blackpool, wasn't he? Was he really bothered about having another job? And he came in. And
I think he was bruised, wasn't he, from the Sunderland fiasco? And I don't think he was really the same.
His heart
man.
Wasn't in it. I don't think.
And he kept blaming the players all the time for everything. He wasn't, his interviews.
I don't think the relationship with the players was that great. He certainly didn't motivate them, didn't improve them.
He didn't improve the
them.
players.
So yeah, I think it was a big factor, to be honest. It's a shame because we had such a feel good factor.
The leasing.com was going to. Wow.
Okay, well, thank you everybody for joining us. And
Nick Muller says stay safe. You all stay safe as well, and hopefully, this will be over sometime soon, and they'll find some sort of cure or some, whatever. We just keep hoping, don't we? So, thank you very much, everyone. We'll see you next week for more chit chat about football at LCTV. And thanks for watching us. And thanks for subscribing. And we do appreciate all of you that that keep watching this stuff. Thank you very much.